Oh, that's all right. That's perfectly fine. Sorry. Let's go live in three, two, and one. Hello and welcome, Mr. Shan. This is the episode 27th of The Health Show. I'm fully excited and I'm honored to have you on this show today. Thank you so much for joining in. Perfect. So let's begin. First of all, let's start with your introduction. So I want to know who is Shayan Tahir. What's your story?
be that I want to do. And then I thought that this could be potentially something that I could do because it has a very large market to go after. And that usually does take a long period of time. And I thought maybe this is the right thing for me. So we're a little different from the regular startups. आजकल के दौर में you could see a lot of startups, take funding and growing. Back in our days, that wasn't the case. In fact, we didn't even know okay, we were a startup or anything of that sort. This time it was about we're setting out business and we're gonna make money doing this, right? It was as simple as that. And I think that kind of helped us kind of shape us, and also that's one of the reasons why we survived for the last 12 years is because it was always part of our DNA that we are going to be a sustainable organization which not only takes care of itself in terms of bottom line, but it's also taking care of their consumers. And that was the approach to the business from day one. And that kind of helped us because Pakistan may, if we have anything that is, we have a large consumer base which is hungry for good service. And the minute you kind of raise your hand and say, I can, give you a certain amount of service, they're there to give you that chance. And if you do kind of respond back the right way, then there's this, viral effect that happens. Good for us that in Pakistan, may people like telling about their experiences with other brands, mostly e-commerce. So that kind of helped us because the consumers we were serving was essentially getting us more customers, and home shopping in the last 12 years have alhamdulillah grown very organically just by dealing with people in a manner where you're supposed to be, and by giving good experiences by through word of mouth, we kind of realized people have now started knowing about us, and then the brand started, kept growing over the years. So Alhamdulillah, this is, I guess, just because of the fact that Pakistan, Alhamdulillah, has such a large opportunity, such a large, consumer market that exists here. It's just a matter of time. I mean, I still feel e-commerce, it's very early days. We're still not even 1% of the retail market. So we still have a lot to do in this market. A lot more players are going to come in. A lot more players are going to go out. But at the end of the day, e-commerce will be. a substantial chunk of the overall retail market, which is around the $250 billion mark. So that's probably the largest industry Pakistan has, which is the consumer retail market. And we're trying to basically get a small piece of this large pie. So yeah, that's what we are. We are one of the oldest e-commerce stores, and hopefully we could kind of get a larger market share in comparison to what we have today.
Wow, great. Thank you so much for sharing that, Mr. Shahan. My next question is about yourself. What is your inspiration?
Yes, so I do look up to, obviously in our industry, the leader has to be Jeff Bezos, so one does look up to him. But that's in respect to e-commerce specifically. But I do get inspired by a lot of entrepreneurs, local entrepreneurs who people don't really get to know about. But they have some really amazing stories. In Pakistan, maybe is tarah ke you have so many cases where they are amazing entrepreneurs is that they never got the opportunity and their stories were never heard to that great extent. So there's a lot of learning available with these entrepreneurs. I know few people, I follow few people, and I learn from those people as well. बहुत सारी stories है. Imtiaz is one good story of Pakistan. Imtiaz Superstore, how they kind of had one shop and they kind of built it into something large. Obviously, these are entrepreneurs who build great businesses, but then the money market needs to come in and essentially make them the Walmarts of the world. That did not happen in Pakistan. So I do not see that as a fault of the entrepreneurs. They did their job really well. Very passionate entrepreneurs. The student biryani people, they're also a great case where they started off from the railway station. एक उनका छोटा सा setup था. Now they're global. So these are very inspirational stories, and when you meet these people, you learn a lot from them. So yeah, these are some of the people that I get inspired from, and it's very important that you keep getting inspired from people because that kind of helps you kind of grow much faster.
Thank you so much for sharing that. But if I were to, like, if we were to dive deep down into the very specific, so what happened with those startups that became such big names. For example, Shurun Biryani, you were just saying कि उन्होंने railway station से start किया, छोटे से, very very humble beginnings. What do you think? What it takes to start from nothing to go and be something?
So yeah, it's a lot of, I think, persistence, a lot of passion that goes into your own work. Understanding, as a good entrepreneur would always understand his value propositions really well. He would know that my biryani is the best in Karachi, right? And he's going to be very confident about it. And once you have that level of confidence, because this is your game, you want to be the best in it. Once you achieve that, then things start to happen themselves because you're in a consumer play and you're there to serve customers. And if you can serve them well, then there is a viral effect to everything, right? If someone is selling biryani or someone selling online, there has to be a viral effect. If your services are good, you're able to connect with consumers. You could essentially give them what they want, right? Whatever they're expecting you to give them. So if you can do that right and you can be consistent about it. Big brands, I think it's all about how consistent you are over the years. I mean, you could give a good experience once or twice, and third time if it goes out of the window, then you're done. So great businesses have to be extremely consistent, and if you could do that for a long period of time, people develop habits, and I think that is the biggest goal that one should kind of have is to kind of make people be kind of be hooked onto your brand, and they have a habit of buying things from you. So if you could do that, then obviously you're bound to make a big brand. You're bound to do that.
Great. Thank you so much. My next question is about home shopping. So I want to really know what happened with home shopping. So tell us a story about homeshopping.pk from the very beginnings to the end, and all the learnings that you developed along the way.
Right. So home shopping began right from the starting. It was more like I was working in a call center because I did my commercial flying. I wanted to be a pilot. I realized getting into an airline is going to require a lot of funds. And I just decided that instead of sitting at home, let's just go work somewhere. Join a call center, and that was the first time I kind of got exposure to sales, and I felt, this is something great, love doing it. And then I decided that after doing sales, I knew that I want to do whatever I want to do in my life. I want to be selling something. um, and then I wanted to buy a product online, which was the iPod, and I couldn't find it online. And then I went on to kind of buy that from Amazon. They refused delivery, and once they did that, I decided I'm going to set up my own Amazon in Pakistan, and then make it into a business. So the first thing I did was send money out to Western Union, buy few products from a Chinese website. So yeah, so the iPod I wanted was the original one, but the I don't know, the small little businessman inside me thought, yeah, instead of wasting all that money, let's just buy a few replica iPods, उसमें भी आवाज तो आएगी, and I can sell the rest of ones, and kind of not waste my cash. Because that's the time when I decided I don't want to work in a call center. I decided I want to set up my own e-commerce website. So I wanted something to sell, right? And वो जो एक iPod आता वो तो खैर मेरा था. So I just thought, might as well just get it from China. तीन चार आएंगे, बाकी बेच देंगे. For the first one whole month, I obviously did not start selling immediately on my website. I went to, I think it was loopmart.com. It was another classified based website whose time पे नई नई उन्होंने start की थी. And then there was this OLX which is still around. तो इनके ऊपर लिस्टिंग विस्टिंग की, एंड iPod की. एक महीने तक कोई ऑर्डर नहीं. एक महीने के बाद I got my first order, and I went to deliver it myself.
Wow.
The name of the customer, Miss Maria, I still remember her, and she traveled to Pakistan from Canada. And for her, it was very normal, ordering something online. And she's like, yeah, I order online all the time. And I told her, you're probably the first person to order online in Pakistan. And that was my first order. So she paid in cash, and I made like 3,000 bucks doing that. Small trip from my house. And the day I made money doing this for the first time by sitting in my room, I decided that this is great. Like if I can sit in my room and make money, like I would love to. So I decided that if I could maybe do thousands of orders a day and make 3,000 bucks every time I do that, this is going to be a great business, and I'm going to be loving this. So that's how I decided to home shopping up at me. Without even setting up the website, because initially I didn't have the money to make the website, even though the website would cost me 20-25K. But उस टाइम पे हम लोगों ने फिर मैं मार्केट में गए, सदर में जो प्रोडक्ट्स नजर आए वो OLX पे लगाए, वहां से सेल्स ली, सेल्स डिलीवर करी, स्टार्टेड मेकिंग सम मनी. वन डे आई डिलीवर्ड दिस टू अ कस्टमर, जिन्होंने कहा यार ये फोन जो है वो फोन था, वो 10,000 का फोन था. इट वाज अ चाइनीज फोन बेसिकली, वो रेप्लिकास कुछ थे उस टाइम पे आते थे. सो ही सेड कि यार इंस्टेड ऑफ टेकिंग कैश फ्रॉम मी, आई विल मेक यू अ वेबसाइट. And I had the idea of home shopping, and I think that was my magic moment. I was like, yes, bana do our website, and I had the domain ready. So his name was Shabazz. He's still a very good friend. And he then, so home shopping was made for free in exchange for that product. He made home shopping for us, and then it was basic struggle. There was a lot of struggle of doing SEO. We had no idea what SEO means. We learned SEO through online, studied YouTube with Anita, but we just learned SEO somehow. And then we started spending nights. So when I say we, starting May, I got my friends involved as well after a little while. Sam and Sunny. So they kind of started, because we were friends, we used to hang out together. So उनको भी मैंने involve कर दिया. I said, you will also get some equity, come work with me and something. They kind of, very early on, they kind of realized, yeah, this is not our play, and they kind of moved out of it. And then I was in command as well. Again, but it was good in the starting. There was two friends. It was just one of those things कि हम लोग पहले मिलके कुछ और चीजें करते थे. अब मिलके जो है we started selling things to people. Then employees started coming in, and then we I think the biggest change that happened with our business, which kind of changed things overnight, was when Blackberries happened in Pakistan. And BlackBerry wave आई, and we decided that we're going to capitalize this wave, and this is what's going to make us into a brand. Because at that time, BlackBerry was sold by telcos for a very expensive price in comparison to we were selling it for one tenth the cost. So it was much better in terms of pricing. So we were able to basically get a very good response. That's where we kind of capture substantial sales, build profits for ourselves, which enabled us to grow further, hire more people, which was very important at that time. Because if BlackBerry hadn't happened, I don't know, like if we would have grown into a large company. So we basically made something out of those Blackberries, and then the smartphone era happened, Android happened, and one after the other, we decided that there are people in Pakistan who are going to go after searching these products, because these are global products, and Pakistan may, or any other country for that matter, people will be searching for these products, just how I was searching for the iPod. So that was, pretty much the hypothesis through which we kind of kept building our brand through different products. So every time a new launch used to happen, we used to be the first one to kind of come up with that product. iPad 1, I remember, it was the first day, and most of the earliest products came to us on the first day, and that used to basically create a lot of word of mouth. Home shopping pe aa raha hai, they're getting it, they will have it. Things like that kind of helped us, build a decent client base, positive client base. A lot of our customers, our returning customers, have bought more than 100 times with us, and they keep ordering on a frequent basis. So that's somewhat of a story. There's a lot, obviously, fitting 12 years in this small talk is extremely challenging. But the good part is that without taking any external help, without ever going to a bank, without ever going to an investor, we were able to build a team, build a business of over 100 people at one point, um, and we've now been able to serve a substantially large market, and still keep a decent position in terms of ranking, in terms of e-commerce market players. In terms of traffic, we are number two right now. The competitors are obviously well backed. They're much larger. They're mostly international players. Maybe Daraz was a German-backed company. Now it's a Chinese-backed company. So we are the local homegrown players. We feel we understand the market in a much different way than them, and कुछ certain value propositions हैं जिसकी वजह से we're still surviving, regardless of the fact that there are such larger players around.
Wow, that has been huge. I mean, your story is inspiring. But tell me about this. What was your age when you started off?
Yeah, I the idea came when I was I think 1920. This home shopping came into being when I was 21.
Wow. And so, like, did you not have any external pressures, family ke pressures ke, padhai karni aage, why are you going into e-commerce? And, because us time pe there was no, there was no atmosphere around of e-commerce and entrepreneurship itna zyada. It wasn't on the pedestal like it is now. So, us time pe back then, how was it? How were people, perceiving it? What were they saying to you? Everything.
Yeah, so I trained as a pilot, right? So उसके बाद I couldn't find a job. So my parents did know कि मैं वैसे ही मतलब अभी घर पे अपना टाइम ज़ाया ही कर रहा हूँ. But then when I joined the call centers, they were like, yeah, this stuff to experience nahi hai. What are you doing with your life? Better kar lo. And then when I started this off, so I started spending a lot of time on the internet. Pura pura din, puri raat jo hai, I was sleeping for like 3 4 hours. But at times when your idea really hits you, it hits you really bad, and then you can't even sleep, and you keep thinking about it. And I think it hit me like that when it happened. So at that time they thought कि पता नहीं ये फेसबुक पे लगे हुए हैं, ये क्या कर रहे हैं. So did my parents did inquire कि what are you up to, what are you doing, like, what is going on. So but then when they realized, when they saw me, this phone of mine was used to keep ringing all the time, and they saw me that he's busy talking to people, and he's continuously like selling things, and he's now have he stopped coming to us for cash. So they kind of realized that something is going on. And I think that's when they became supportive. Okay, I mean, whatever you're doing, if it is working out and you're making money or something, whatever, we'll support you. And I think that's what parents should do. The question did come in the early days that, you don't want to be a pilot. Are you sure? Is this what you want to do? Pilots can live a great life. I kind of wanted to be that somewhat, but then I decided, no, this is what I'm going to do, because this idea came to me, and this is what I'm going to go after. And then they were very supportive throughout. They were always behind me, and they were always making sure that I can do whatever I want to do. I was doing well. So yeah, I think they were very happy with the fact that I was doing well, and I was independently doing everything myself. So yeah, I wouldn't think that they didn't like the idea of me going and venturing into it like this.
That's great. My next question is about failures. So I want to ask you, what has been your life's biggest failures, and what did you learn out of it?
Yeah, so the biggest fear of any entrepreneur is of running out of money, and that is definitely a very big fear, because you constantly trying to balance between growth and sustainability. I mean, especially when you're bootstrapping a business, so there is this constant fear that one day sales might drop and you might not be able to generate sufficient cash flow, so that is definitely a fair, and that's the job of a CEO, to kind of make sure that you're well financed all times as well. So that is definitely something that we used to strike very early as well. Now, alhamdulillah, things are slightly different, but in the earlier days, most definitely, you were always faithful about those things. And You can't really do much about it other than the fact that you can learn to manage all of that. I mean, there have been nights where because I used to work in the day, dispatch and all of that things. Like I wasn't dispatching myself. I had riders, and even in the early days, but I used to kind of manage the dashboard and everything myself. So शाम तक वो होता था, और उसके बाद फिर रात को till 3 4 o'clock I used to sit and do the accounting for all the work that we did in the day. And then 4 o'clock, I used to like go back home and sleep a few hours and come back at 10. So that was somewhat like my routine. So uski wajah se, that it was a great learning experience. I kind of got to work in every segment of the company, and that kind of did help a lot as well. And there have been times when I have spent the night crying in the office कि यार पैसे नहीं है, कल payments कैसे होंगी, and this is it, we're done. This is the end of the story. And then you talk to your team members, or उस time पे riders ही होते थे team members. I used to talk to riders, and we used to work out ways how we could maneuver ourselves into the market and still buy more time, and I don't know, do something, and still make things work. And once you, you kind of got through, you realize that you just need to stand strong and face these things, and you can go through pretty much anything, right? And there is definitely uh, light, at the end of every tunnel, and that gives you a lot of confidence, and then you can take up any problem. right? So then things don't scare you that much. So yeah, that's definitely one thing that used to be pretty scary.
So I mean, this is really deep. Um, when you were just like a company having three or four people, जब आपके दोस्त आपके साथ थे and you were running everything and you were like the whole day, like till late at night you were working in the office and just like you're explaining stuff. उस time पे how hard it was and what it took to really persevere and really believe in the vision of home shopping. कि नहीं एक दिन it's gonna become a giant. What was that?
Yeah, it was just passion. I think we just loved doing what we were doing, so into it. Uh, and I think that's extremely important that you just enjoy what you're doing because if you're doing something जिससे आप थक जाते हो तो फिर आप वाकई थक जाओगे eventually, right? And there would be one day where you say, yeah, this is not my thing. It has to be something that you enjoy, you love doing, and if you can find yourself that, I think then you kind of met your match because then when you go on and keep doing and spend those long hours because early days you have to spend like a lot of time if you want to build a business, a substantially large business at some point in time. So you have to spend quite a lot of hours. I mean, there's no kind of going away from any of that. So in my case, we see that we enjoy doing it, we love doing it. That's why we were able to overcome all of that. And then 12 years down the line, a lot of people now ask me, यार तो 12 साल हो गए तो तंग नहीं आ रहे e-commerce करके. Like यार, like अभी तो start हुआ है. So we just yeah, we love doing this. That's why we want to do this for the rest of our life. It's not about कि हम तंग हो रहे because this is where we're learning. This is where we're understanding, and market keeps evolving. It's always new set of challenges that are thrown towards you and you keep solving those. And I think every entrepreneur is a problem solver. So he's good at solving problems. And then some people are good at that, some aren't. But at the end of the day, entrepreneurship is just problem solving, right? You have to be at all times solving a lot of problems. And if you enjoy that, then you would probably be doing this for a long time.
That's just beautiful. My next question is about the future of home shopping. So, where do you see the future of homeshopping.pk in the next 10 years?
राइट सो यार हमारे कुछ कुछ जो अपने माइलस्टोन जो हमने सेट किए जो गोल्स हैं जो हमने अपने लिए रखे हैं वो ये है कि वी वांट टू बी इन द टॉप 10 companies in terms of revenues. We want to be a large revenue company because we feel कि पाकिस्तान में opportunity है to build a large business within the retail business segment. अगर $250 billion की market है तो having 20% of that market will make you someone who is having revenues in millions. So the goal is to build a substantially large company that is there, and at some point in time I think from the very beginning take inspiration ki to maybe set up a public limited company one day, so maybe getting listed on the Pakistani stock exchange is the milestone that I see at least now for the next 10 years, and these milestones can keep changing. इनका कोई दीन ईमान नहीं होता. So once you can achieve these, you can look elsewhere. But for now, this is what our targets are. We want to be listed. We want the public to be holding certain amount of equity, and we want to be serving the customer. And that's probably one of the reasons why we want to list at some point in time. And being a large revenue cap market company is one of another goal that we have.
Thank you for sharing that, Chan. So there is a popular or maybe unpopular opinion that entrepreneurship is very lonely. Since you're the person who's responsible for every single thing, you're the person who's accountable for every single thing. Whenever good things happen, it's because of you. Whenever bad things happen, it's also because of you. What do you think about that? How do you count? How did you counter loneliness during your hard journey in the very beginnings?
So yeah, I think any company cannot just kind of grow just because of founder, and then it has to be the team basically that kind of makes like I'm nothing without the team. And there's so many other faces who kind of are there who we're not talking about right now, but they are the reason why home shopping is there. And I do feel that that is the case with pretty much every company. You do talk a lot with all of these people. These people do tend to become your families pretty much. And if you're spending more time in office, then I guess that is your family. It's just that these people have more insight into your business, and they're kind of your partners in a way. Um, and it helps a lot to talk to these people. I mean, like I said just earlier, I just told you I used to talk a lot with my writers, right? Because the only set of employees I had back in 2009-10 was writers. I was the only employee who would, can read, write, type in English. तो उनके साथ we used to communicate a lot. यार कल जो पेमेंट्स करनी है उसके पैसे नहीं है क्या करना है right so they used to be very helpful, and they used to come up with great advice because they were in there. They knew the vendor, they understood the vendor, they understood me, they understood the business challenges. There were a lot of times when rider used to go and buy some time. यार पेमेंट हो रही है करवा रहे हैं परसों मिल जाएगी आधे आधे से हो जाएंगे परसों से हो जाएंगे just kind of maneuver our way out of situations and kind of get our thing done really pretty heavily now.
Wow. All right. So if you can give three insights or strategies for sorry, any three advices first of all for anybody aiming to start a startup.
Yeah, so the number one advice that I would want to give is when you want to start off a startup, then you first need to understand what a startup is and what a small business is, right? These two things are absolutely two different animals and they need to be treated differently as well. A startup essentially is a company that would take a lot more capital and try to go after growth very excessively, right? Without worrying too much about the bottom line, but the objective is growth. Startup is all about high growth, right? So we don't, if that's definition of startups, we don't see ourselves as a startup. My advice would be Pakistan mein, we don't have a lot of capital around us. In fact, मैं ये मैं बताता हूँ if there is certain audience जो उर्दू में समझना चाहे कि पाकिस्तान में इन्वेस्टर ज़्यादा नहीं है, right? So आप बिजनेस ऐसा बनाएं स्टार्टिंग में तो एटलीस्ट जिससे आप अपना किचन चला सकें अपने आप को अफोर्ड कर सकें. That is extremely important. एंड पाकिस्तान में पीसी कल्चर जो है ये खुद एक नया एक चीज़ है जो भी स्टार्ट हो रही है. आपने बिल्कुल शोज और इस तरह इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर्स और ये सारी चीज़ें देखते हैं कॉल्स एंड उसकी वजह से बहुत ज़्यादा एक ट्रेंड है, लोग सब स्टार्टअप बनाना चाह रहे हैं. ऑल दैट इज ग्रेट बट you need to make sure that what are you trying to build? If you're trying to build a high growth startup, then yes, you can work with VCs, but आप make sure करें उनकी alignment हो आपके goals के साथ कि वो भी उसी तरीके की growth लेना चाह रहे हैं या वो चाहते हैं कि आप एक healthy profitable business बनाएं. ये alignment होना बहुत ज़रूरी है, otherwise आपको बहुत ज़्यादा आगे जाते हुए challenges आ सकते हैं. पाकिस्तान की मार्केट में आई फील मेरी एडवाइस ये है कि आप एक बिजनेस पहले बनाएं एंड उसको एक सब्सटैंशियल टाइम के लिए चलाएं और उससे आप अपने कैश फ्लो जनरेट करके उस बिजनेस को सीखें और समझें. एंड जब वो आपके पास वो लर्निंग्स आ जाए तो फिर उसके बाद आपने अगर स्टार्टअप रूट लेना है तो आपने, अदरवाइज आप उसको बिजनेस ही कंटिन्यू करते रहे. दैट इज टोटली योर डिसीजन. The reason I say that is because पाकिस्तान में इतनी ज़्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट के एवेन्यूज नहीं है, इंटरनेशनल इन्वेस्टमेंट्स भी लिमिटेड है, राइट? सो आपको 1-2 साल चलाने के बाद अगर कोई आपको एडवाइस करता है कि जी स्टार्टअप इज ऑल अबाउट ग्रोथ एंड जस्ट कीप ग्रोइंग योर बिजनेस, और उसके बाद फिर जो है वो क्या होगा वो देखा जाएगा, they will run out of money most probably, right? And if they do, that's the end of the line for them. They wouldn't know what would happen if they were profitable and keep running it, and maybe after some time when the opportunity is ready, they might be able to make it. So you need to think from that perspective कि आप किस मार्केट में ऑपरेट कर रहे हो। पाकिस्तान जैसी मार्केट में यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड what the realities are, and build accordingly.
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Shan. My next question is about this. Um, so, what do you think about health and wellness in today's society, and what do you think can be improved?
Yeah, it's raining very heavily, so I couldn't listen to your question. Can you repeat that?
Sure, sure. So, what do you think about health and wellness in today's society, and what can be improved?
Yeah, so right. This is definitely a very important subject, and especially for entrepreneurs. So, I mean, at least in my case, that is something that I obviously did not focus on for the larger chunk of my life. When you're an entrepreneur, you are at least in the starting, you were spending a lot of time within your work, and you're not getting a lot of time to spend time for yourself, and that does take a toll on you at some point in time. You're emotionally not stable after a certain time period, I would say. And there are a lot of mental health related challenges that are possible if you are an entrepreneur as well. There is much higher percentage chances of getting into things like that. So I think keeping a balance in life between everything is the key. Right? And I'm not talking about work-life balance kind of thing, but it's about making sure that is your business owning you, or you are owning your business, right? And I kind of think about that a lot. Um, and because I created home shopping, I feel that I control it. But sometimes I feel home shopping controls me, right? Because it makes me do things that I probably don't want to do. Make me run, make me go through a certain calendar that I need to go through every day. So these things do take a toll on you, and at some point in life, I did realize that what is all in this for, and then you can't be successful if you're letting go of your health, and these kind of thoughts did started coming in, and that's when you start kind of taking care of your life for yourself as well. So now my routine involves a 1 hour session every day that I wake up early. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, go through Fajr, and then after that, I go to for a morning walk. And now I've kind of like it's part of my daily routine, and I think it's extremely important. And what that changed in me was my productivity went up quite a lot. I felt even if I was giving a smaller amount of hours, I was able to be more efficient, more productive in every capacity. So yeah, I mean, I obviously as an entrepreneur, I did not realize the benefits for all of this in the earlier days of my life, but I'm trying to do my bit now. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing that, Shan. My next question is a subject that I think is not taken so seriously. I think it's not given the due attention it deserves. I think even when people talk about mental health, they talk about the problem and not the solution itself. So I want to know what's your take into mental health.
I'm sorry, yaar, I couldn't hear you again, yaar.
It's okay.
There's a lot of
So
rain in the background.
that's fine. I want to talk about mental health. So there are lots of stigmas attached to mental health. I want to know what's your take into mental health.
I'm sorry, yeah, it's breaking. The voice is breaking a little.
Is it fine now? Is it fine now?
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, perfect. So I want to ask, since there are lots of stigmas attached to mental health, I want to ask, what's your take into mental health?
Mental health. I mean, you would need to define that for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I feel like this is a topic. Every one of us, every single person on earth goes through this. They go through mental health issues every single day, oftentimes in their life. And for some people, they're not even aware about it. For some people, they go into denial and all these sorts of things. There's no culture of going to therapy, just like you go to gym for your physical body. There is no culture of going to therapy for your mental body, for your mental
Mental
health.
health.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
right. Mental health. I'm sorry. I saw some new term, mental health, and I am not aware of it. So, but yeah, no, no, man, it's a big problem, right? So, absolutely, Pakistan, mein to there's this huge stigma. People don't really want to even accept this that there can potentially be any problem. But I personally feel that it's extremely important, especially for entrepreneurs. You're prone to get involved into all of these things because you're excessive about everything, right? You're spending too much time at work. Your personal life is kind of compromised. You have stress, extreme amount of stress, financial stress, and a lot of things do happen. And then you have your personal problems that happen around you, right? So you can't kind of get out of those. So you have all of these things happening around you. Still, you are fighting with your business. So you kind of have you need to have that capacity to kind of manage all of that, not just physically but mentally as well. And I think the way I see it, I think the brain itself is like a muscle, and the more you train, the more it goes through, the more rigid it is to manage things. But then at the same time, you need your time off, and I kind of figured out that time off is absolutely essential. Earlier, I wasn't the kind of person who would take any time off. To be honest, there were no vacations, there were no times off, there were no weekends. Even Sunday was a full working day. In fact, Sunday for me was the best working day without any customer dealing or anything of that sort. I could do a lot more. So, but then there came a point where we understand or realize that I got married and had two kids, and after that, obviously there's a life beyond work as well. And at some point in time, you need to understand that I am not successful unless I can keep this balance. I mean, if I'm just good at one thing and the world knows me for that, then I do not personally feel that I'm successful enough. So I would for myself be successful when I can keep this great balance for all the roles that I'm supposed to serve, and while doing all of that, I can keep myself at peace at all times. So I just wish, I mean, that's all I can say. I wish people are more open to such things, where they are more open to maybe exploring this. I mean, not necessarily they have some mental problem. It could be a lot of other things that they're going through. And at times, even just sharing your problems with the other person can kind of solve a lot of your issues. We generally don't do that. So, yeah, I mean, you would obviously know more about such things being a doctor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shah, and that was very insightful. But so, how do you strike a perfect balance? How do you strike a balance between your personal life and your, the success, the home shopping, the whole entrepreneurship?
या सो बैलेंस तो कुछ रिसेंटली लाइफ में आया है, पहले इतना ज़्यादा बैलेंस नहीं था, बट खैर बैलेंस के लिए आई थिंक यू नीड टू रिस्ट्रिक्ट योरसेल्फ, यू नीड टू लर्न टू रिस्ट्रिक्ट योरसेल्फ. अगर आप ईमेल्स करते हो तो आपने अपने आप को उस तरह रिस्ट्रिक्ट करना है कि यू विल नॉट डू ईमेल्स फॉर द एंटायर डे, बट यू विल डू इट इन दिस टाइम पीरियड ऑफ योर डे फॉर दिस मेनी आवर्स, not beyond. If it goes beyond that, you'll manage the next day. And then you kind of start restricting yourself for different things that you want to do in your life. There has to be some me time where you do whatever, you go out for a walk, you do some cardio, whatever, early morning. And then once you're at your work, or doing your work, you restrict your personal life getting involved while you're doing your work, especially after, working from home. Home shopping is still working from home. We feel it's going to be extremely selfish to expect people to come and work for us, especially when COVID is reducing, but it's still around somewhat. The operations team is only coming, but the rest of the teams are still working from home. And I think we do feel that moving forward, people are getting more aware of all of these things. And I guess it's a matter of time. It's a lot to do with education as well. Because Pakistan में culture है, going to a doctor for mental health means कि आप पागल हो गए, right? So, which is very unfortunate. But it's, I guess, for us, the balance is that I've restricted things within time frames, and I kind of do those things within those times, and I've learned to kind of restrict myself, and I think that's what's helped me.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing that, Chan. My next question is about self awareness. So, in your opinion, how can somebody be more self aware?
So self-awareness, I think it could be in different ways. For me, like, I don't know. I mean, I do some certain extreme things for self-awareness. I'm into extreme sports, and I just enjoy the bit of doing stupid crazy things at times, to realize that I'm alive, and it does kind of, I mean, it's a great experience to do, get into adventure sports. um, and like, in terms of self awareness, I think it's more to do with how people see you, who are around you, what you could do for them, and once you do that, they do respond back by taking care of you in one way or the other. And I think that does somewhat give you a certain amount of self awareness of your existence and what you've kind of changed within what you're doing.
Great. Thank you so much, Anne. Um, so I want to ask this. If you can share any three insights about, a better diet, a better sleep, or a better exercise routine that you have developed along the years.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna advise me for that.
I will
Well,
definitely for sure.
yeah, I just heard, like, I do follow a certain pattern, and I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I take 2 meals a day, and like, my dad used to do that. So I skip lunch, I have a good breakfast, and then I have dinner. It might be unhealthy, but I do that, and I don't know. It kind of works better for me. I just feel better doing that. So yeah, I think eating less makes me feel healthy, and I um, थोड़ा बहुत अब जो है वो मीट को थोड़ा रिड्यूस किया अपनी डाइट में. So yeah, I guess some of these things, but I wouldn't consider myself as a person who has a lot of knowledge around a healthy lifestyle. So this is somewhere where I'm still learning, and I'm sure I will develop something decent to share with you at some point in time. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Anne. And I'll be honored to share my suggestions or what I've learned along the way for you. Um, so if you were to give an advice to somebody who wants to start an organization, not just a startup, an organization, that inspires a lot of people, that's a volunteer experience, and just build a global movement. Let's say in terms of health, which is something that I'm passionate about. What advice do you have for me?
Yeah, advice would just be, to go out and get things done, because at times people think a lot about कि यार ये होगा तो फिर वो क्या होगा. So don't think about all those things, and just go out, try to do whatever you want to achieve. And I've seen over the years, at least in my life, and I've heard this from a lot of other entrepreneurs I've come across, that they've seen things happen themselves for them. Right? If they're too focused on something and they are after a certain goal, um, um, you know, there is external support that helps you or something. But things do happen for yourself. If they hadn't, a lot of these amazing stories wouldn't have had, been there. So I do feel that one should be convinced about something, that he needs to achieve this, and he needs to be confident that he will achieve it, and he needs to go after that goal regardless of the obstacles. The obstacles are designed to make you feel that it's not possible. But once you come close to them, you realize you can go through them. There's a way hiding something. So I think that was my only advice. Um, but whatever you do, make sure that you are fond of doing that. You don't get tired of doing that. Because then it's not something sustainable. You don't want to, especially for the people who are working, right? You don't want to come to an age of, let's say, 50, 55, and think back there, what if I could go back to 30 and do that thing that I used to think, and what if that would have been a great business, and what if that would have happened. That's the worst thing that you could do to yourself. So this, if you have certain amount of time, you don't have too much responsibility on you, this is the time where you basically try yourself out, um, and you go out and do what you want to do, because in few years you're going to have to be married, you're going to have kids, and you want stability in your life, right? So when this stability part comes in, maneuver आप कर सकते हो, ऐसा नहीं है. There's a lot of stories who still did it, but थोड़ा सा मुश्किल हो जाता है. So it would be very wise for people, and especially out of university. I do feel that they can maybe go into a business for a short span of time to just understand the culture and how things go about, but nothing beyond that. And then they should focus on building something, because I've seen, what I've realized, if you can do something for a long period of time, that thing is bound to do good. Otherwise you will be out of business, right? So might as well pick up something early and then go on to build this for the rest of your life. Make a legacy out of it, make a name that you build something, and then leave that behind. So that's how I see things, and that would be my advice.
Great. Thank you so much, Chan, for being at this show, for having such a deep and meaningful and very insightful conversation. I've had a very insightful time with you. I've learned a lot from you, and I'm pretty damn sure that I've extracted maximum value from this episode for a lot of listeners out there. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you. You have a nice day. Bye.
Have a nice day. Allah Hafiz.